A long day of sitting can leave your mind feeling dull, edgy, and strangely resistant to new information. The surprise is that this is not just fatigue. It is biology responding to inactivity and stress. When muscles stay idle, fewer helpful chemicals and growth factors circulate, and neural connections lose support. At the same time, toxic stress can weaken links between nerve cells, making focus and mood harder to stabilize. Over months and years, that combination can shrink key brain areas and reduce how quickly new skills stick. It can also raise the odds of spiraling into chronic anxiety, low mood, and scattered attention. Work stretches late, screens stay nearby, and recovery time gets eaten by errands rather than real restoration. A short bout of aerobic movement can shift internal chemistry, making the next hour of thinking work better. We will explore how exercise boosts learning machinery, buffers stress, lowers panic, lifts depression, and improves attention control. This video is inspired by Spark by John Ratey, and please subscribe for more brain-based exercise lessons each week. Exercise primes the brain for learning by increasing growth factors that help neurons form and strengthen connections. A key factor is brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, which supports synaptic growth and lasting strengthening for memory. Higher BDNF levels make it easier for circuits to change during study, practice, and problem-solving. Human experiments show faster vocabulary learning after exercise, with learning rates tracking BDNF levels. In one school district, physical education focused on cardiovascular fitness, resulting in exceptional results on international math and science tests. The link is not claimed as the only cause, but it shows how fitness can support academic readiness. Learning depends on neurons binding together, and exercise helps provide the chemical environment these connections require. Movement sets the stage, then focused learning strengthens pathways, so training the body and mind reinforce each other. Try scheduling a brisk walk or run before difficult study to chemically prepare the brain for information encoding. Pair that workout with deliberate practice soon afterward, because growth factors work best when learning demand follows. Moderate exercise triggers a brief stress response, then activates recovery systems that make neurons more resilient. It improves cellular energy production, increases insulin receptor efficiency, and supports the hippocampus, a memory hub that remains plastic. Regular movement keeps cortisol in check, reducing the likelihood of chronic stress eroding neural connections. It also builds repair and cleanup processes that handle normal cellular waste from use and aging. When tension remains high all day, muscles stay wound up, feeding a stress loop back to the brain. After repeated aerobic sessions, resting muscle tension drops, and blood pressure can fall, signaling a calmer baseline. Because the effort is predictable and self-initiated, exercise builds mastery and confidence in handling stressors. This psychological control combines with biological brakes on the stress axis, creating both felt relief and reduced reactivity. Aim for regular moderate sessions that challenge breathing but still allow conversation, so cortisol stays balanced. Notice how sleep, irritability, and startle reactions change over weeks, as adaptation builds gradually with repetition. Anxiety and panic often involve a hair-trigger alarm system that misinterprets body sensations as danger. Exercise alters the same pathways targeted by medications, raising the threshold before the alarm cascade activates. Older advice warned anxious individuals away from exertion because faster heart rate and breathing resembled panic symptoms. Later controlled studies found that most people improved, and exercise could achieve remission levels comparable to medication. A 10-week trial compared regular exercise, a daily clomipramine dose, and a placebo for panic disorder. Medication worked faster, yet by the end, both exercise and medication groups reached the same overall improvement. Short aerobic bouts can also reduce the frequency of panic attacks compared to quiet rest, showing the effect can appear quickly. Over time, repeating the controlled stress of exercise teaches the brain that bodily arousal is manageable. Start with gradual sessions and keep them predictable, as safety and routine help retrain fear responses. If calming anxiety through movement feels valuable, please subscribe for more clear breakdowns of habits that stabilize the stress response. Depression involves disrupted mood circuits, low motivation, and changes in brain regions that regulate emotion and learning. Exercise regulates the same neurotransmitters targeted by antidepressants, including norepinephrine, dopamine, and serotonin. Norepinephrine helps awaken the brain and improves self-esteem, which can counter part of the depressive state. Dopamine supports motivation and attention, and chronic exercise can increase storage and receptor-related changes in reward circuits. A landmark Duke trial compared supervised walking or jogging to sertraline and to a combined treatment in depression. After 16 weeks, all groups reduced symptoms, and about half of each group reached remission. Serotonin shaped by exercise supports mood, impulse control, and self-esteem, while also countering cortisol effects. The combined chemical shift makes learning circuits in the cortex and hippocampus easier to strengthen through everyday effort. Treat exercise as a consistent therapy dose, using planned sessions rather than waiting for motivation to appear. Track mood and energy daily for a month, as changes can build quickly and become easier to sustain. Attention relies on networks that prioritize goals, inhibit impulses, and maintain working memory during delays. In ADHD, reward circuits and the prefrontal cortex may struggle, making it difficult to filter distractions and plan ahead. Since dopamine and norepinephrine regulate the attention system, exercise can alleviate symptoms by increasing both chemicals. With consistent training, baseline levels rise as new receptors develop in key brain areas involved in attention shifting. Working memory failures can distort time perception, causing tasks to be postponed until the pressure becomes extreme and chaotic. Movement networks like the cerebellum and basal ganglia help coordinate information flow, so training them can improve attention. Exercise can also enhance the locus coeruleus, reducing startle reactions and irritability that disrupt focus. More complex movements may amplify growth signals like BDNF, suggesting added benefits when skill learning is combined with exertion. Use short bouts of aerobic activity before tasks that require sustained focus, then begin immediately to take advantage of the window. Mix simple cardio with coordination drills or martial arts style practice, as complexity can recruit more brain systems. The central shift is treating movement as a core brain health tool, not an optional add-on for fitness. When the body works hard, the brain gains chemical support that changes how thinking and feeling operate on a daily basis. Growth factors like BDNF help synapses strengthen, making learning faster and memories easier to build through practice. Regular aerobic training also keeps cortisol regulated and adds biological breaks that reduce runaway stress responses. As anxiety lowers and mood lifts, attention becomes less fragmented, making effort feel more productive and less exhausting. These changes compound because better sleep, steadier motivation, and improved learning capacity reinforce one another over time. Begin with a realistic schedule you can repeat, even 3 sessions weekly, and treat it as non-negotiable. Adjust intensity gradually and prioritize consistency, because the brain adapts through repeated signals rather than rare hero workouts. Once movement becomes routine, the question shifts from willpower to design, making progress easier to maintain. If this science-based approach to exercise helps, please subscribe for more practical guides that protect mood, attention, and learning.